Hello, loves. So, I am experiencing this really strong desire to share and chat about Pluto moving into Aquarius. I obviously love astrology. I'm an astrologer. I love the way that the divine communicates with us through the cosmos. I just think it's so much fun. And I don't know that I've ever experienced this type of joy, excitement, lit upness about a transit before. And so that just by knowing myself and my design, that is communication that I get to talk about it. This is my jam. So here we go. Pluto and Aquarius. I have been really working with putting it to words all morning. What I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing, what's been flowing through about this transit, and why I'm so lit up about it. And to answer the last part about why I'm so lit up, the only thing that I can really get clear about is this feeling of this is what my soul has been waiting for. This is what I came here for. It's about dang time. Let's go. But let's dive in a little bit more because of why this is so significant and why it's a big deal. Number one, Pluto. Pluto is what we consider an outer planet. It's a generational planet. It's interpersonal. So it's more about how we relate with one another. And it's generational, so it doesn't move very quickly. It's a slower move. So it moves about every 20 years or so. Well, the last time Pluto transited was 2008, and it transited into the archetype of Capricorn. And this has been a journey. This has been a journey. And just to give you an example of why this feels so significant and why a lot of us are experiencing a lot of energy around this, and whether you're aware of it or not, is the fact that Pluto only gets to an archetype because it is a generational outer planet. It only gets to an archetype around every 200 years. Okay, 20 years per archetype, there's 12 archetypes. You get to do the math. So it's been about 248 years that it's been since it's made this transit through Capricorn. And so in 2008, it entered Capricorn. As a collective here in the United States specifically, we started experiencing a recession. We started having a lot of financial shifts. This was the beginning of the crumbling of structures and systems that are in place, that are oppressive, and that do not fit what is being created in the age of Aquarius, which is what we are moving into. And so it was the beginning of the end of a lot of structures, a lot of systems. And so when you are in this opportunity right now, as we're getting ready to shift, as Pluto's getting ready to shift again, our opportunity is to reflect. That's what Pluto wants us to do. Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. And it's asking you to go deep within, like all the way to your own personal depths, hells, innards, and excavate the gems, the jewels, the things that need to be released, the power that lives there. But it comes through, a lot of times with Pluto, trauma, tragedy, tragic expression. It can feel really like death and rebirth, like you're dying. That's just Pluto. So Pluto transited into Capricorn. We started noticing our systems begin to crumble. Pluto has been transiting through since then and is now at 29 degrees, which in astrology is a very important degree as it is a completion. It is the last degree of the house of the archetype. So it's finishing up its transit, okay? It's such a big deal. Like, this is the last of the crumbling, okay? This is the last of the crumbling of the structures. And when I say that, we're looking at structures like, these are the themes around authorities, things that have been placed as authorities in our current society and systems and stories. Pluto is giving us the opportunity to question that, question all authority. Governing bodies, capitalism, patriarchy, our wounded masculine. Capricorn is a very masculine energy. It is the father, actually, in the zodiac. So really looking at the father figure, masculine, and where it's been really wounded, and where it's showing up in a not healthy expression, like oppression, capitalism. And the current system that we are engaging in, whether we believe it or not, or you fully see it, is a system of oppression and slavery. It was created at the birth of this country 248 years ago. We started slavery with the birth of this, literally, it's in our birth chart, of this country. So we're ending that, though. The structures that are still in place that are a part of that have to end. They have to crumble. They have to fall apart. They have to be seen in their wounds, though, first, so that we can show compassion. Now, that isn't just masculine expressing bodies. That comes down to the feminine too, right? Because the wounding of that masculine had ripple effects, right, over all of us. And so it's looking at how even that wounding of the masculine is playing out in feminine expressing bodies. So Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn has been doing its job of structures, governing bodies, crumbling, falling, being questioned, us getting to also see the shadow, like diving deep and finding out, especially around like sexuality, the fact that our government is now being run by known rapists, known sexual molesters, pedophiles. It's out in the open. And we're saying, you know what? Oh, we're kind of okay with it because like there's all of these things that we're getting to see for the first time right in front of our faces. They're no longer hidden in the shadows. That's Pluto. And it's happening in our structures and our governing systems. That's Capricorn. So it's really crumbling. It's letting us see so that when Pluto shifts into Aquarius, power to the people. The people get to go, wait a minute. This is what we've been serving, literally slaves to all this time. Why? It is a recalibration and coming back to our own sovereignty. It's recognizing that, wait, there is actually no authority over me. There is no governing body that has power to tell me yes or no. No one else gets to tell me what to do with my body, right, ladies? No one else gets to tell me who to believe in, what to believe, how to worship, what to worship. It's all of these freedoms getting to be expressed. Though it has to start with us reclaiming our power. And that only happens not from our anger, not from our wounding like we've been doing. That's why the feminine's been responding and we've been thrown into hyper-masculinity. We've chosen that. Our opportunity is to respond from a healthy masculine, from a healthy place, and to go, you know what? I have been doing this all wrong. I've been extracting. How can I actually show up and support? And where have I been giving my power over? Where have I been expecting, depending, relying on these governing systems to tell me what to do with my body, with my health, with my mind? Why am I relying on them to tell me how many vegetables to eat? Oh, wait, they told me to get shots that actually killed people. Like really questioning all of these things and getting really clear on your own sovereignty, on what is a yes for you and a no for you, and recognizing that no authority outside of you, authority outside of you can actually tell you what to do. But you have to reclaim your power. And the only way to do that is to heal your wounds. Is to recognize where we are giving in, where we are still crumbling, where we aren't standing up in our power, where we're saying yes when we mean no, where we're saying no when we mean yes, and really owning and taking responsibility for who we're being. A lot easier said than done. But what I know to be true is that with Pluto moving into Aquarius, we are being empowered, literally empowered to do so. And that's why I love this dance with the divine. It's because it shows me, oh, wait, yeah, I actually can do this. And there's the evidence. So I encourage you right now, I'm going to attach with this some reflection questions. Because Pluto is really asking us to dive deep, to really reflect over the last, well, you do the math, since 2008. Not in the place to do the math at the moment, but since 2008, what themes have you had come up around your father wound? What themes have you had around your masculine being wounded and how you're not holding yourself well enough? Biggest thing to ask is work. What are you relying on to survive? Is it in your doing? Is it in your productivity and your achievement? Really looking at and asking questions around these things and seeing if you're healthy in it or if you're in your shadow expression. So I will attach some reflection questions. There's been so many that have flowed through. It has been a really fun deep dive for me personally to just see who I've been through this journey and really get clear on who I want to choose to be and what I'm choosing to create and co-create as we move into the age of Aquarius, because this is about doing it with community and it is about doing it together. And it is calling us back home to our sovereignty, to our power, and reminding us that we as the people get to create something that is so much more beautiful, so much more beautiful. And I love that I just kind of sounded like the Constitution there, because we're going to be rewriting that soon. And we, the people, get to rewrite it this time. And we get to learn from the mistakes that we have created and we get to reflect, and we get to write something new. So I'm so excited for the age of Aquarius. I'm so excited for Pluto to shift into Aquarius. Like I said, my soul feels like this is what I've been here for. This is what I have endured for. This is why I've stayed alive for 40 years through everything that felt like I could not overcome it. It now makes sense. This is what I've been waiting for. It's time. So I invite you to join me. Let's freaking go. It's time to transform. It's time to be reborn. And it's time to create something so freaking beautiful. We haven't yet touched it. Let's go.